Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Always a great day when we have our friends from Girl Scouts San Diego in the house with us. Today, joining us is Robyn Murray, Public Relations and Communications Manager for the Girl Scouts San Diego. How you doing, Robyn?
I'm doing great, Drew. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's always good to have you folks. And sometimes we even have your talented Girl Scouts co-hosting with me, correct?
Correct. Yes. Thank you.
So we'll have to see if Leila and Sohini want to do that after the show. I think they might do that. Joining us is Leila Morrow and Sohini Mody, who both earned the Gold Award Girl Scout. That's quite an honor. So Leila and Sohini, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Very, very good. We'll start with you on this, Leila. How long have you been a Girl Scout?
I want to say about 13 years, the earliest that I could start daisies.
Okay, very, very, okay, good. I'm learning a lot of terms about Girl Scouts, by the way. Remember daisies from the previous one. How about you, Sohini?
Same for me. I skipped a grade a little bit in the middle there, so it's been 13 years, yeah.
About 13 years. And so, Robyn, to earn this prestigious award, not easy, is it?
It is not easy.
What do you have to do?
So firstly, it's an 80-hour project. So Girl Scouts have to really research an issue in the community that they care about. So they tie in their own passions and interests, and they have to work with the community to figure out a solution for that issue. So it's not just that they're deciding and they're putting their mark on the community without consulting the members of that community. They're really doing the research. Then they have to build an entire team of volunteers and lead that team. So these high school students really showing leadership. It's really amazing. And they have to create a sustainable, measurable impact in the community. So that means they're evaluating their impact along the way. They're also making sure that when they're done with their project, the impact is still going to continue to be made based on that sustainability. And then they also have to include a global link. So that means that they are looking outside of that community and bringing in these other perspectives to try and really amplify their message and their project. So it's a huge undertaking, especially for a high school student who is already undertaking a lot of rigorous academic activities and extracurriculars. So super, super impressive.
No, that really is. I got tired even listening to what you guys have to do, for my goodness sake. We'll start with you on this. Leila, what was your community issue?
My issue was mainly tackling the elderly and how they really don't have a great support system when away from family or a great support system. So I had experience with my grandma back in Wisconsin. She went through COVID and she was very susceptible because of her immune system. She also got kidney cancer a couple of times. So when she contracted COVID, she was very, very sick. She didn't have any family to really support her, and she didn't really have that community that she needed all the way out in Wisconsin and nowhere. So I wanted to bring that support to people more direct to me, where I could help people by way of the inspiration of my grandmother.
Yeah, where in Wisconsin does she live?
I want to say...
Have you been to Wisconsin?
I have, but
okay.
I don't know her teeny weeny little town.
Okay, yes. I know, well, my ex-wife's from Wisconsin, from La Crosse. It's a beautiful state. It's a great state. Yes. So you decided to choose seniors because of your grandma. Okay, very good. Sohini, what was your topic?
So I raised awareness for climate change. I presented to people all around San Diego, and I created a club in my school, basically talking about the solutions and causes and effects and the next steps to take, just because I really love the environment and I was born and raised in San Diego. So everything that I see around me, we've had good weather. I've always been able to kind of go to the ocean, go on a good hike, And I remember in my sophomore year of high school, I think I was just very emotional for some reason, but I saw a picture of a polar bear and her cubs separated by a broken sheet of ice. And that was kind of the moment when I was like, oh my gosh, this is something that's very real, and I have to take action towards this so that we can preserve the earth for future generations.
So have you always been interested in climate change, or is this something that's in the last several years? Or are you kidding me? When I saw that the polar bear, I was like 3 years old, and that has never left me.
No, honestly, I think it's always been like a topic of discussion, especially more recently, like in my generation. It's been, oh, the world is ending, we must take care of it, but it's been this like doom or gloom behavior. So I think once I started researching it and really going into it, that was when I became very passionate about it, and I actually really understood what was going on with it. And then there's so much science behind it. I'm someone who's super interested in science. I'm majoring in bioengineering. So it was like once I learned about all the like chemicals that go into it and how it affects human health and how it kind of related to my previous passions, I was really just engaged in it.
Well, I'll tell you right now, my generation is thankful for you and those you folks who are doing great things for seniors and climate change, because my generation obviously mucked that one up with climate change, even though I happen to be with you, a very big environmentalist. And listen, we're going to be getting to the precipice. If we don't do something about it, we're not going to be able to come back. So that is just thrilling that you folks had did this. We are chatting with Leila, Morrow and Sohini Mody. They are two Girl Scouts in San Diego. They've earned the Gold Award Girl Scout, and as Robyn Murray was saying earlier, that is quite an accomplishment. We're going to chat in a few seconds about what you'd say, what were the sort of the toughest components of you earning this award on this. Robyn, how many Girl Scouts earn this award each year, or it really just depends? It could be 100, it could be 20.
Yeah, it does just depend on kind of where we're at with our membership in that year. This year we had 56 Gold Award Girl Scouts in our 2023 class. So really impressive. Each of them, collectively they dedicated over 5,600 hours to the project. So really cool, really amazing to see these Girl Scouts, individually taking action and then just bettering the community as a whole.
Well, and to your point earlier, so they had those 80 hours plus their schoolwork, plus their family work, plus their social time. So Leila and Sohini, did you sleep at all during the last couple weeks? I'll start with you on that, Leila.
It was very, very tough. I would say that was mainly the topic that was running through my mind during class, during all that stuff that I have going on. And I mean, I think it helped because I wrote mine in to my school as well. So my volunteers and my support system were found through the Key Club that was established at my school. So I also got to work on it during school hours and all that stuff. So it made it more efficient and easier for me to fully complete that way.
Right. What was the toughest part of the assignment? Did you, have any stumbling blocks? Was it easy to get a hold of groups like Serving Seniors in San Diego? Because people would love to have someone do some research on it. What was some of the tougher things?
I think that finding my direct audience that I was going to affect was fairly easy for me, just because it was within my community, they were in need, and I brought that to them through, I established a club, and it was a gardening club to help with mobility and such, and also give them more exposure. But I would say my funding was my main issue, and that's why I was able to be awarded a grant from my school. It was the BEST grant through Sage Creek High School, and they award it to Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, or any community service projects that are in need, and luckily I was fully covered with $200. Right.
So what does the funding pay for you to do research, for you to do what?
So it pays for all of my materials that I used, all of that stuff. So I came up with lesson plans, crafts, projects. If we were gardening or planting stuff, it was the soil, the shovels, all that kind of stuff, and any snacks or extra activities that I wanted to bring for the seniors.
Yeah, think about this too, Sohini, because I'm going to ask you this question as well. But for Leila, what thing surprised you the most in your research? You go, boy, I didn't realize X about seniors.
I would say that a lot of them really need that exposure to younger generations, and after I would leave for the week, since it was bi-weekly, they would always talk to, I have one family friend that also works in that senior facility, and
Right.
they'd always talk about me. And they'd always be like, oh, when is she coming back? When are the girls coming back? I want to see them. And so it was very heartwarming to hear how much it actually did touch them in that way.
Well, I think, something that we can chat about that when we come back from break as well. Much has been written about it, especially in recent months, as isolation is a huge issue with any of us. It doesn't make a difference what age you are, but especially when you're seniors. So, Sohini, when we come back from break, we're going to ask you the same questions. What was some of the challenging things asked? What did you learn that, boy, I didn't realize this about climate change and so forth? You probably knew a lot of it because you love science, and I'm sure you're on your way to major in that in a school as well. And then in the second part of the interview, we want to ask, what do you hope people take away from your work in climate change, Sohini, and yours with seniors as well, when we return with our good friends from Girl Scouts of San Diego, Robyn Murray, Public Relations and Communications Manager, joined by Leila, Morrow, and Sohini Mody. Both earned the prestigious Gold Award Girl Scout. Great honor. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast, and we've been doing this for 17 years. We're here in this beautiful mission-fed studios in Scripps Ranch, joined by our friends of the Girl Scouts at Mission Fed, been doing wonderful things like the Girl Scouts have. Mission Fed for more than 60 years. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 17th year, broadcasting from the beautiful Mission Fed studio here in Scripps Ranch. Mission Fed has been uplifting folks in San Diego for more than 60 years. We are with the cool folks from the Girl Scouts San Diego, joined by Robyn Murray, Public Relations and Communications Manager, joined by Leila, Morrow, and Sohini Mody. They have earned the prestigious and hard-to-get Gold Award Girl Scout honor. So talk about climate change, and what were some of the toughest things for you, Sohini, when you went through this process?
I think for me, one, just finding people to present to was very difficult because a lot of people are very open to the idea of hearing about climate change, but then trying to get a group together and actually kind of organize an event or something of the same matter is very difficult. And it's very hard to find those resources or those like consistent sources that you can talk to. So it was a lot of just kind of networking at the beginning, which was a very valuable skill to have. And I'm definitely going to take that into whatever I do in the future. But it was, I reached out specifically to Sebastian Fay of San Diego 350, which is a San Diego climate change organization. And he was able to kind of hook me up with a team that I was able to get a lot of knowledge from. We had meetings discussing like everything I wanted to learn about. I was able to ask them questions. And then I had a county advisor who was kind of spreading the word, sending emails to like the YMCA, elderly organizations, elementary schools, just so we could kind of figure out where I could present and where I could get a large crowd together so I could get the word out and really talk the way I talk to a large group of people as it should be, you know? But I think another struggle was kind of just the attitude people have towards climate change. It's very difficult to explain climate change without having a very negative mindset. So a lot of it was finding the line between like an over dramatization of the issue, or like just taking it too lightly and casually. It was, this is happening, don't freak out, but we have to keep it in mind. We have to work towards it to fix it.
Well, listen, I was going to ask you that question. You must have been reading my mind. So not only can you be a scientist, you should be a journalist on this. You know, it's beyond me that how people think this way with all the science behind it. It sure actually makes me frustrated. It makes my 28-year-old daughter a crazy person when people try to dispute climate change. Did you get a lot of people that were adamant there's no such thing that's climate change, it's a hoax?
I think when it came to different age groups, yes.
So people like my age, 105. I'm not 105, but
it was more people who were like 40 and above that were
interesting.
And it wasn't that they were trying to say it didn't exist, but they were trying to lessen the impact of the issue. They were saying, "Oh, this isn't happening because of climate change." It's like I was talking about like ocean acidification and sea levels rising, and they were saying, "Oh, that's other issues. It's not just climate change."
And could they explain what the other issues were?
No, they could not.
Exactly. So bless your heart for doing this. You know, my background is journalism, and I love to ask those questions, and that you hit it spot on that aspect of it. Love to hear someone's opinion, and now let's back it up with something, and they didn't. And those two areas are so critical. We're all going to be seniors. You guys got a long way to become a senior. I refuse to admit I'm a senior. It's all a mindset anyway in that aspect. But climate change is with us, and it is so important, and just so great that you're doing this. Robyn, 56 of these folks earned this great award. Do they get to share their studies, their work? Is it printed out anywhere?
Yes, so we do have a program from our ceremony that we just held this past weekend. And so each of our Gold Award Girl Scouts is listed in the program. It shares a brief description of their Gold Award project, as well as if they created a website, that's listed in there as well. So that's on our Gold Award webpage. It's sdgirlscouts.org/gold. I brought a printed copy for you, Drew, as so you can read up on maybe some future co-hosting opportunities with these Gold Award Girl Scouts.
You're reading my mind, Robyn, which is not much to read in there. But no, I think that's fantastic, because what you guys are doing, Leila and Sohini, and of course, and Robyn, what I love about having you folks on, it's always something good for the community. And it's always something that's going to be sustainable, you know, on this, which is so important. Listen, I know that's in the DNA of Girl Scouts, of course, in this, but heaven forbid if we all acted like Girl Scouts and we're doing these things, what a great place this world would be. And listen, I know Boy Scouts do great stuff as well on this. So let me ask you this, Robyn, what can people do to help support, you know, the folks who have earned this great Gold Award, and just the Girl Scouts in general? What can our listeners do?
Yeah, so we love when people are involved in Girl Scouts. Number one, we have troop leaders who are amazing volunteers, and we really couldn't do this work without our volunteers. They are the ones, you know, on a lot of the groundwork here, where they're building this next generation of leaders. So would love to always have more volunteers involved. And then, to support our Gold Award Girl Scouts, if you see Girl Scouts out in the community, you know, ask them what they're passionate about, ask them what they are doing with their lives and how they're working on these projects in the community. We have Girl Scouts taking action in highest awards as young as 4th grade. So We have the bronze award in 4th and 5th grade, and then the silver award in 6th through 8th grade. So there's so many opportunities for Girl Scouts to be making a difference out there. And if you see one out there, just talk to them and get to know about all the great things that they're doing.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Leila, Morrow, and Sohini Mody are just absolutely the essence. You are the poster kids, I guess, for our Spotlight in the Community show. That's what we've been doing for 17 years is highlighting stuff that is so important to the community like you folks have done. So, Leila, what do you hope, how sustainable would you love to be your seniors report? Are you going to check in on it in 6 months, a year and a half, and see if there's some traction moving forward?
So I also tied in my Gold Award with this project that I also have at my school called the Genius Project. They essentially have the same mindset, but I would say I worked a lot harder with the gold and kind of adapted it to my Genius Project. And so by that way, there's a legacy that goes on with my Genius Project. So I do have the option to pass it down to someone at my school so they can also get recognized for continuing and creating a legacy with this, with my connections and the establishment, my lesson plans, etc. So I most likely will be passing it down to someone within my Key Club who helped me. And I do check in on them every now and again. And I'm planning on doing a little Gold Award party for them. So I'm going to bring them some cookies.
That's great. What year are you in school?
I'm going into my senior year.
Very good. And any ideas of a school you're going to go to? What university? Or that's too early in the game?
I have some high goals I need to reach. Let me just say that.
Good. You want to share them, or that's going to be a spoiler alert maybe down the road?
Mainly, I want to some UC schools. Some.
You mean like this one that's on my shirt?
Oh yeah, like UCLA is up there.
Yeah, my dad taught medicine there, so
Nice.
it's a great university. Well, listen, I think you're going to be successful no matter what, and thank you for focusing on the seniors. It's so critical. How about you, Sohini? What do you want to see that we've actually put a little bit of a stop on climate change, which would be an unbelievable 8 billion person effort, to be honest with you?
I mean, climate change is every little person taking just a few baby steps. It's not that we all have to make one giant difference. It's if we just recycle a little more, be more mindful of how long our showers are. It's the small little things that matter with climate change. But I think in regards to sustainability, the Gold Award emphasizes sustainability. Before we have our proposal approved, there's a process we have to go through where we are required to make sure that we can have a lasting impact past just the working hours of our project. So for me, my sustainability is in my school. I have a UNICEF club, and I wanted to make sure that it was continued and carried on. So there is that club still going on, and I hope they can continue to educate people. They still have all my resources and everything. And then also just word of mouth with climate change is the biggest thing. It's spreading correct information. And even though I can't reach everyone, I'm one person, and San Diego is a very, very big city, much less the world, It's if I can impact a few people, they can kind of keep the chain going.
Yeah, what's interesting, what you said is just absolutely spot on for 85 different reasons, and that is we don't need to all solve it by one person. It just takes 8 billion of us to do it. And it's like anything in life, you get everyone rowing in the same direction, you can go real fast, quickly in this aspect. And when you can bite off these small things, and we say this all the time on our show, we've said it for 17 years, and tying into volunteerism and, donations, and Robyn knows us very well. Listen, we're not going to turn down Bill Gates' money, okay? We'll take it. But you know what? $1 is fine. Because maybe next time it's 2. And if you can only volunteer for 1 hour this week or this month, it might be 2 hours next month. Take off steps that you're comfortable with. And we want to encourage people that, 1 hour doesn't make a difference. Oh, it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference, to your point, Sohini, when you got 1,000 people doing 1 hour on this. Well, wish both of you nothing but great success. You are already the leaders in our community. You will continue to raise the bar for yourselves and everybody else that comes in contact with you folks, whether it's climate change or it's seniors or 75 other topics that you folks are going to be doing when you go to your studies. What, you thinking about a college somewhere, Sohini?
Yes. So I just graduated in May of this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I will be attending the University of Toledo on a full ride.
In what subject? or sport?
No, I'm going on bioengineering. It was a merit-based scholarship.
Well, congratulations on that. So what I love about this show, Robyn, I think we might have even heard me say this from some of the other folks on. I can say this. I knew Leila when. I knew Sohini when. They became Nobel Peace Prize winners, and maybe they'll remember Drew somewhere down the road. Congratulations to you on this great earning of this award, and wishing you nothing but great success moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Robyn, always good to see you. Thank you for bringing in the talented Girl Scouts. We know we want to have you on. We mentioned you before, at least once a quarter at minimum, to talk about those great things. And give a shout out to Michelle Mullen for me.
I will. Thanks so much, Drew, for having us. We really appreciate it.
It was always my pleasure. And when I'm not telling my listeners, I'm about ready to jump in 3 boxes of Girl Scout cookies that are about 1 inch from me right now. Wishing you, all three of you, a happy and a safe 4th of July. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 17th year in these beautiful mission-fed studios. We've been broadcasting and mission-fed, just like the Girl Scouts San Diego, been raising the bar for more than 60 years. Girl Scouts a little bit longer in San Diego. We hope everyone has a safe and healthy 4th of July.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.